Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Operation Bonebox, our Delta Green game playing the Iconoclasts campaign. I'm Andy, I'm the handler, and I shall get my players to introduce themselves. I'll just go around the overlay. So let's start with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Agent Khar, a CIA operative.
Nick.
I'm Nick. I'm playing Agent Pink, U.S. Air Force Pararescue.
Marc.
Hi, I'm Marc. I'm Agent Sandman, who's US Special Forces Green Beret.
B.
Hi, I'm B. I'm playing Agent Hawk, an ICE officer.
Agent.
Agent.
Officer. Yeah.
Agent.
Detective. Not really sure.
Detective.
No, they don't. No, they don't use the word detective. Yeah. Okay. Bruce.
I'm playing Agent Jones, US Corps of Engineers Archaeologist.
Yeah, which none of you actually asked yet about how come there's a US Army archaeologist, but we'll come to that later, if it ever comes that in character. And lastly, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Agent Farmer, a ONI analyst.
Okay, right. Now, where we left it was on the edge of departure from your base in Kirkuk Air Base in Iraq, and you were about to get a. I think the plan unless correct me if I got it wrong, the plan is to get a helicopter to take your vehicles and drop you somewhere in the desert to the west of Mosul, so that you can then drive to the Rassam residence, which is towards the south of Mosul. Is my understanding there correct?
I
Yes.
believe that was the plan that was laid out, yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things we just need to sort out. So you've sorted out all your personal gear, though there is actually one bit of personal gear we've not talked about. So I'm imagining, though, Agent Pink is a trained medic, and I think, if I'm rightly, Hawk has taken some medical gear as well. Probably all of you would have personal med kits. I don't know if you've actually included that in your items, but you get some sort of Iraqi army issue personal med kit, which is probably a US Army issue one, but just probably out of date. Which is just some bandages and a shot of morphine and stuff like that. So you all have that. One thing we haven't talked about. So Agent Sandman's got an underslung grenade launcher for a bit of firepower. There was a comment in our Discord beforehand about a rifle, taking a sniper rifle. Did you want to take a sniper rifle of some kind?
Yeah, I was thinking of a Dragunov.
Yeah. Okay.
With optical sights. I mean, if you can get hold of
right
infrared stuff or night scopes, then so much the better. Not necessarily going to be working at night, but useful.
Okay.
Are you going to be, sorry, I just wonder, are you going to be carrying both a sniper rifle and an assault rifle then?
Well, I figure we're on trucks, so it can be stowed and used where necessary.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be necessarily mine
And
either.
to be fair, yeah, either of us could probably use it pretty effectively too. So
yeah, useful sort of longer range.
Yep, and I am carrying just kind of a more basic AK, since normally I'll be carrying medical equipment in addition.
Yeah. Okay. So Marc, as the person who's requested it, can you give me, please, a firearms check just to see if you're unless you critically fail this, you'll be able to obtain one. It's more whether you obtain one before you leave.
Stand by your beds for a massive fail. There we go.
Okay, so on the vehicle you've got
the result.
Yep, you've got a Dragunov sniper rifle with a nice fancy sight on it and several mags for it. Okay.
Okay, thanks. we manage to track down any RPG-7s and reloads?
Once again, but this time give me a heavy weapons check.
Ideally, I was after 2 with about 4 each. Depends what they've got around. We can beg, borrow, and steal. Was it heavy weapons?
Yep.
There you go. Oh, missed it by a smidge.
So unfortunately, no, you've not been able to get an RPG-7.
Right.
But they are working on trying to get one for you. Right.
They got any just hanging around on the base? Might just sort of feel like filching one.
Aren't we on a Peshmerga base?
It's not tied
Peshmerga
down.
run base.
You're on a Peshmerga run base, yeah.
Yeah, they've got to have one or two of those lying around, carelessly left outside toilets.
So if you want to go and
in the
just
sun.
acquire one without turning it into a big role-playing incident, you can either try and bullshit yourself to getting one with a is it persuasion? Is that the right skill? Hang on a sec.
I was thinking by stealth.
Well, so either that or
Well, I could try bullshitting for one, or I could
stealing
gamble
one.
for one. I could, yeah.
Why can't you just pay for one?
You could bribe
yeah,
for one.
money
Yes,
talks.
absolutely.
Yeah, we have money.
Money's the least of our worries.
Well, that was supposed to be for additional expenses.
Bribes. Yeah, this is an additional expense. It's a bribe.
Okay.
There's no pocket to the shroud.
I am fully on board with my team's dedication to acquiring more boom.
Okay. Okay. In that case, if you I don't know how much it'll be. I'll work that out later. But you use some of the cash you were given to bribe yourself into getting a single RPG-7 with, because it was a failure, 3 rockets.
I'll even tell you who we bribed. We bribed one of the small arms repairmen on base. They've probably got an RPG-7 that was brought in to be cleared kicking around somewhere inside their armory.
Okay.
Just ask them for one of those and a few spare rounds that they probably confiscated.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
It's a standard expense, apparently, whatever that means.
Right.
I'm not familiar enough with the
From
system.
memory, you could have just done that with a dice roll, but you're choosing
$200 to $800. So.
Okay. Rather than having a dice roll, you've just paid. Right. Now,
Why leave things up to chance?
last bit of personal gear that we forgot to talk about on Discord. It got mentioned, but hand grenades. Is anyone taking any either fragmentation or smoke grenades? Even if you grenades are quite useful for. I'm just going to open it, put it down next to me, create a smoke to run away.
What skill do grenades come under?
Do you have? There is.
I've got the special training in grenades.
Yeah. If you have special training in grenades, which pretty well anyone with any military training has, then I think they just use your agility stat. Was it? Or was athletic skill? Athletic skill. Sorry.
Athletic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
both counts. I will not be taking any grenades.
I definitely have like 2 smoke grenades.
Okay, please put them on your character sheet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll pick
Should I add them under weapons?
Sorry, there were several.
Should I add them under armor and gear?
Put them under armor and gear. We'll work out what is. Sorry, Chris, I missed what you said.
I'll pick up a laser sight as well. Might as well. Pistol. All right.
A laser sight for your pistol. Is that?
I won't leave it attached normally, but I'll attach it if it looks like I might need it.
Okay. Okay.
I was going to go for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
I was going to say one other thing that's just reminded me of when we talk about, is anyone taking a suppressor for probably their pistol? Sorry.
Yeah.
Was that a? Sorry. Sorry. B. You've got a blurred screen. Was that? Yeah. So if you
yes, from me as well.
Anyone with a suppressor for their pistol, please put it on your character sheet. Clearly, having suppressors is going to mark you as unusual, but and one last thing, by the way, I've been making an error. We shouldn't be calling them ISIL. That's what the West calls them. They call themselves Daesh. Yeah.
Ah.
Yep.
Is it Daesh?
Daesh.
Is it Daesh? Is that how you
Daesh.
pronounce it?
Daesh.
Daesh,
I don't
okay.
think it matters.
Okay.
I was after some frags, smoke, and flashbangs.
Yeah. How many do you want of each?
4 frag, 2 smoke, 2 flashbang.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's a lot of grenades. That's physically a lot of grenades. You might want some
Yeah, I
sort
was
of
about to say, how
rucksack.
big are these?
Yeah, you might want some rucksack to be carrying them in, or something like that.
Or like a bandolier.
Bear in mind, because you've got 10 fragmentation for the underslung grenade launcher, and so that's quite a bulky thing to add to your
Was it 10?
harness, your chest rig. Okay.
Because
I
there was
mean,
always
I'm just
things going on.
imagining him running out of the 10, underslung grenades and just pulling down the apron to have another apron full of grenades underneath it.
Don't give Marc ideas.
With all these grenades
I
going around
love
the place, I'm
that.
sure at least
Thank
one
you,
of them's going to explode underneath us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So
No. I'll just go mad first and just pull the pin.
right. So
That'll do it.
Yeah.
if you're taking grenades, please add them to your character sheet. And even if you
I
don't
have-
have the grenade skill, it still might be worth taking a smoke grenade, because a smoke grenade can just be pulled and then put down next to you. You don't need to throw it anywhere. I would actually still give you a chance throwing it. It would be an athletics check at a penalty.
All I can see is a armored Humvee going down the road, slowly filling up with smoke and then swerving off.
Okay.
Into a ditch.
Agent
And
Jones
all drowning
declines
in the
all
body.
offers of grenades. Okay, that's fine. The last thing.
Sorry, adding to the whole thing. Obviously we've got a list of things that we have on us, and potentially the list of things that we have back at base. To grab should we need to go out because we know we're going to get into a firefight or whatever. Is tear gas any good? And obviously, can we get face mask, respirators, and things like that?
Yep, you can have a respirator each and some tear gas.
Is
Absolutely.
it worth doing that? I'm asking like the team. Like, do we think that that's something worth getting, or is it an unnecessary addition to the many things we already have?
It's unlikely that the people we're going up against have been exposed to tear gas on a regular basis.
It's the usefulness of it and the chances of pulling out a frag grenade rather than a tear gas grenade and being a bit of an accident in a crowded room.
We're gonna leave the tear gas. We're gonna leave it. We're all good. We got smoke grenades. I'll take some smoke grenades.
Okay.
I mean, I think the accidental detonation of any type of grenade in an enclosed room would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
It's by lack of grenades.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last decision, just say one thing, by the way. You've stocked up on things like bottled water and things like that, because where you're going, it's hot. You're carrying lots of water, all that sort of. I'm just taking as read. You've got enough. I mean, you've got several people with military training appropriate to the area, and you've got Agent Khar, who has operated in the area, so you know what the environment is like. Then the last thing is vehicles. Now, what you had talked about taking was a truck, because you're anticipating pulling out from you're hoping when you go to the site that you're going to find there the very large bronze amphora, as well as the cases of tablets, and then other things as well. So you were talking about taking some kind of packing crates boxes empty to put more stuff in, and then as well as that, taking some a truck to carry it all in, and then some kind of second vehicle. And has a decision been taken on whether you want to take a Humvee that's been captured back from ISIL, or just some technical, some sort of truck with a machine gun mounted on the back, something like a Hilux or something like that?
Well, we're going for a lower pro truck. That's the best option.
I think we can just have a truck and a couple of the Humvees. I think more vehicles the better.
Yeah.
3 vehicles with 6 people is a lot of people committed to driving. Is the only thing I will say with that. Up to you.
So it's only, how long is it to drive there and back again?
A few hours,
2
depending on where you
vehicles,
get.
probably about right.
I say again, Chris.
Two vehicles, probably ideal, isn't it?
So maybe one Humvee and then a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The advantage obviously of the Humvee is it will be armoured.
Yeah.
Well, the advantage of having more vehicles is when the RPG's fired to the vehicles, we only take out 1/3 of the party, not 1/2 of the party.
I mean, we have seen that in action in the Twilight 2000 game, so.
Well, this thing, we're not playing Twilight.
I'll tell you what, he's
2000
quite an
anymore.
archaeologist. This has happened in the past.
How many of us with good drive skills?
So
Ooh,
actually, that
that's
was
fine.
something I was just checking right now.
Well, we're
I
not
don't
doing,
think-
No.
we're doing combat. We're not doing
Basic.
combat driving, are we? So, 20%
Yeah,
is just
true.
driving down a road.
It's not combat driving at the moment.
I mean, I can drive.
Where you're talking about being dropped is technically cross-country driving.
Yeah.
There
But-
you
I,
go.
Do we have
130.
anyone who can drive?
I
Yes.
do have an additional 20 in the drive stat for a grand total of 40.
Okay, yeah, we got one.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay.
and was it?
Well, 40 is minimum
Typical.
level to be considered professional, so I think that's good enough.
And sorry, did Agent Hawk? Did you say you can drive as well?
I can, but I'm not allowed to, so guess I'm not driving.
That's a very good point.
I've been
Yeah.
looking up all the rules and regulations, and I know
Right.
exactly what I can and can't do.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, just 2, or do you want to take 3?
I think we've got to go with 2, haven't we, realistically?
Okay.
Yep.
And is the
Yeah,
second
it
one?
seems-
Interestingly enough,
so.
it takes out the 2 people who are sort of the weapon specialists as well.
Yeah, I
doesn't
was gonna say,
Drive.
and leave it once again to the grunts to have to do all the actual labor here.
Yeah, but shooting from the back of a truck is going to be hard
Agent
anyway. So
Pink,
just
drive
mass
the
ahead
truck.
something up.
Agent Pink, sew my leg shut when it's bleeding.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll
So,
be fine.
do you want a technical or a Humvee?
Are there any pros and cons that we may not be aware of?
The Humvee is armored.
The Humvee will be armored.
The
Are there any
technical-
disadvantages? to the
Technical's
Humvee?
less flash.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you Daesh captured or ISIL captured. I think I read it was 2,400 Humvees off the Iraqi army. So Humvees within ISIL are not rare. They are of note, though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's if you're wandering around posing as it's probably partly what you want to do is your cover ID. Yeah.
So
What-
it's having the Humvee will actually just aid us in the you're going to do what we say because we've got a fucking Humvee.
Yeah. Who from the conversations last time, I think Agent Khar is taking the lead on the talking front. So what are you going to be posing as? Because you're going to be the primary person showing ID, I would imagine.
I was internal security, wasn't I?
So in that case, having a Humvee would be totally normal.
Okay,
Yeah.
take Humvee then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're an important.
Okay.
Yeah, you're an important state police officer.
So you've got a Humvee, and it'll have a Browning 50 cal mounted on the top. So you've got one big machine gun, should be something needed, and it's armored. And actually, I mean, it can't take much more gear, but actually, the 6 of you could cram into it if needed. So you could all fit in there, or all fit in the truck if needed. Yeah. The last decision to take is, I think I mentioned this last time. The vehicles have, I think I can't find the actual. I think they're RFID chips, but they have, they have
Yeah.
friendly
it's
fire chips.
RFIDs.
Yeah.
RFIDs. That's it. RFIDs. Yeah.
Yep.
And
can I
essentially,
just-
the Humvee will you can put them in both vehicles.
Yeah.
You can also turn them on and off. They are relatively small. They can be hidden. Obviously, the sort of Iraqi Air Force and other sort of coalition air power are obviously using them to identify vehicles not to attack, to avoid friendly fire incidences. But also, it is known that Daesh are trying to detect them on vehicles as well. So I think something that got talked about last time was potentially having them on the vehicles, but then turning them off and hiding them when you get close to enemy territory. Enemy forces.
Can I just ask a quick question just for my notes? I'm going to go around to each person. If you can tell me which of the what cover ID you're having, as in which of the Daesh services you're going for. So if we start with Agent B, I would know you're going to be going with Alcanza because you're female.
Agent B.
You mean Agent Hawk?
Agent Hawk?
Agent Hawk. Yes, Agent Hawk. Sorry. Agent Jones.
Go.
Sorry, say again.
I was just looking at it, actually. I was just looking at the list again because I don't think I'd made a decision about. Not sure it matters, to be fair, either per se. I don't know whether it actually matters.
It's only for this. It's only for this bit when for showing ID. So
I do actually want to know what ID each person is carrying. Yep, and you can have. I think Agent Khar has requested 2 IDs. I can't remember if anyone else had.
I think it would either be an Al Askari ID or an Al Dakili.
Okay,
right.
So that's
so
depending on which would be more appropriate for my role, because I think my character would be pretending like to be security for this whole like convoy operation.
Okay, so I think I think, as I said, Agent Khar, you're going to be doing a lot of the discussion. So what you were going for? Which one were you?
I can't remember the name of the organisations.
Okay,
right.
so if I'll read them out because I've got them all here. Okay, so you've got Al Askari, which is Recon or Special Operations. Al Dakili, Internal Security or the Police.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, Al Dawala, Counterintelligence. Al Kaji, Foreign Operations. Al Hizba, the Religious Police, and then Al Kansar is the only one which Agent Hawk can be.
Counterintelligence has one as well. What do you reckon? Counterintelligence or internal security? Let's go for internal security.
Internal security for Khar. Cool. Pink.
So if you're internal security, then your security team would also be internal security. So that starts to dictate anyone who's posing as internal security is probably going as part of accompanying Agent Khar is then going to be
Al Dakhiri.
Yeah. So is that Pink and Sandman as well?
Yep. That would be Pink
definitely.
At least.
Is
keep
Jones?
the cover.
What are Jones and Farmer doing?
The special service in charge of reconnaissance and special operations. I don't know whether mixing the services would make sense, give us more sort of flexibility, or would expose us to more questioning.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking Darla, the counterintelligence, so I can get away with carrying the tablet around and stuff. Tech stuff.
Yeah. That could be To be honest, either that would make sense with either. To be fair.
Okay. So the only one who hasn't chosen is Agent Jones. Bruce.
Yep. As I say, I think the question is
Sorry.
whether having a mixed bag exposes us more to sort of questioning, or whether we should all be from the same branch.
Well, I reckon we can probably start to be different branches, because if I had to identify myself, then you lot shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
They're my underlings.
That's
Go
true.
away.
So, in that case, Bruce, what
Have we got anybody from the department of the operations outside of the Caliphate? Because I think it might be useful if we need to move anything outside of Mosul area,
Yeah, that's a good one.
being
That's
moving
No, we
stuff
haven't.
out.
Yeah, I've got
I'll be-
everybody in
Andy,
foreign
would a
operations.
Sorry, Bruce. Go on.
Cool.
So you're going for that one, okay?
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Okay.
I just remember another equipment discussion that was going on, which was a drone.
Mm-hmm.
There was a conversation about a drone. I need a count sheet. Someone will need to make a skill check.
Black Hornet.
Right. So the skill to operate it. What
It's
would
got to be Xbox skill, surely.
Yeah, Xbox gaming probably.
I have gaming as a special skill.
I
There
thought
you go.
yours.
Yeah,
That's B.
it's,
B has gaming as a special skill.
yeah,
We
yeah.
probably all do.
Computer science.
I think computer science.
Specialized training.
Yeah, I think of the skill
gaming.
of the skill of the
Or
skill
dexterity.
section skills around. I would say computer science.
I'll do the computer science then.
Right, give me-
Flat roll, yeah?
Yeah, flat roll.
Oh, apparently, drones are pilot drone.
Okay.
That's a pilot skill.
If you're
Well,
a
makes
big
sense.
drones, and we're talking about Reapers, right?
Yeah, that's Reapers.
No,
No.
Oh, we're not getting a Reaper.
No.
No.
No, we're talking about.
I thought he was being serious.
We're talking about something.
Yeah, we want to be able to drop a hellfire on someone at a moment's notice.
We're talking about a Amazon purchased probably style drone. Oh,
no. I'm after I'm after the military Black Hornet drone, which is about that big, and it's got forward-looking infrared and all sorts of stuff. It's tiny, looks like a little mini helicopter, and it just folds up to a tiny little thing like that. So it's used by the US Special Forces. It's used by Brits, Norwegian, cross NATO.
Right. That would be. So
Couldn't have just borrowed one from another mission.
no.
possibly
Yes,
been on.
you got farmers got success. So yes, you can have one of those. Just bear in mind that that's probably not tech found in Daesh territory.
Yeah, they're gonna look at that and be like, "How'd you get that?"
Presumably, they're using drones though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
they'll be using
Oh yeah.
domestic ones
Yeah.
with the cameras on them.
You know,
That's it.
Turkish drones. Just
Yeah,
some
okay.
sort of They're reasonably. They're pretty competent as far as the Ukrainians can tell. So.
Yeah.
One last thing,
They're very
which I believe you've all worked out cover names, but this ID that you've been set up, you need to resolve what name it's in. Okay.
I mean, what language or what's the name of the alias?
What's the name of the alias? Just in case I don't need it now, but just
Another name.
Yeah. Okay. We'll sort it out if it becomes relevant. Okay. Right.
Okay.
So.
I have it in parentheses on my character sheet already.
Okay. So, what time of day do you wish to be inserted by helicopter? Their recommendation is to insert you by night. Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Morning.
Because
That would
Dawn.
be the time to do it.
Okay.
we want this to be done and dusted and over before it gets hot. We want to
Okay.
be back at base.
Okay. So, early evening. A Chinook helicopter arrives on Kirkuk Airport, not far from you, and the two vehicles that you've got. One, a fairly nondescript looking military truck. It's an old Ukrainian-made model that I'm now forgetting the name of, but it's probably at least 20 years old, but with a good, solid, reliable engine, and tyres have all been checked, etc. And a battered and war-torn looking Humvee, but with some eyesore paintings on it, which does attract a bit of attention from a few people nearby, as does your appearance, sort of looking like clearly not dressed in uniforms designed to make you look like coalition forces. You're hurried onto this Chinook, and it takes off and disappears as the sun is going down. It takes off and disappears off fairly quickly. You're actually probably Farmer or Sandman or Pink, one of the three of you is probably connected into the on headphones into the comms for the flight crew, and you gather from them that you're being shadowed by a pair of Apache gunships. So you've got a bit of cover, and you're taken off into the desert. I think it's a couple of hours flight time. The desert west of Mosul, and based on some research done by Agent Juliet, she's picked out a landing site for you, which appears to be relatively deserted, and you're dropped there, probably getting on for sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night. Okay, and the helicopter stops and lands rather, and you drive both vehicles out, and the helicopter very quickly is off as well, and fairly quickly it's quiet. You start up the vehicles. Who is driving which vehicle, and what vehicle are the rest of you going in? The truck can sit three quite comfortably in the cab. More could go in the back if you want. The Humvee.
I'm happy driving the truck.
The Humvee
I'm
can
in the
have.
command seat to the Humvee.
Say again?
In the command seat to the Humvee.
Okay. The Humvee can have easily three in the front and three in the back. So Pink presumably is driving the Humvee.
Yep. I guess so. Yeah.
Where the other three of you wish to go?
Mr. Pink, Agent Pink, did you want the truck?
I can be in either. I'm not picky. So
stick as we are then. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. If you want the truck, I'll gladly take the Humvee.
Yeah, I'm happy with the truck.
Yep.
All right. Sweet.
Humvee?
Yeah. Humvee.
Okay.
I'll take truck.
Okay. So it's Salmon and Farmer in the truck, the other four in the Humvee. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and
we'll stop stories while we're driving.
Second, stop
stories.
Okay. You start to head in the direction. You've got sat navs working to take you to where you need to go. What is your plan? Because you know that let me just pull up that. Oh, did I actually remember to put that map actually in? You know, I shared you
the Operation Conquest map.
No, the this is it. Right. So this is the map I thought I'd done up last time but hadn't. So this one. So this is you still have a count of 27 27 heat signatures in and around this area. There are several at the machine gun position, and they seem to have that and a checkpoint set up on the road. Okay, and it looks like from the drone footage that there's a machine gun to the north, pointing north, and a machine gun pointing south. Then the bulk of the rest of the Desh troops are in the camp area, and there's two-man patrols sort of doing circuits of the outer wall of the house complex. Okay. I've just got, sorry, my wife's not here at the moment, so I've got to go and just check something with kids. Can I leave you to work out where do you want to come north, south, and do you want to work out a vague plan of how you want to approach? Just while I'm not here.
I think we're landing south east of the property and then driving to the road, then up the road, thereby minimising our exposure to the machine gun position if the bug out.
Let you discuss that. I just got to go and sort it out with kids. We'll be back in a sec. Figure out your plan.
Sure.
Yeah, tell them to not set fire to the carpet.
I thought we discussed coming south on the road as if we're coming from Mosul.
Yep.
But then there was also discussions about the airbase further south as well.
Precisely. We obviously have different.
We might head in that direction, but I think the idea of coming from the north makes a lot of sense, even if we then continue south to the airbase.
Yeah.
That actually makes very good sense.
And yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely swing that.
Yeah, deploy from the north, and then
did we get any
an exit out of the south. Yeah, yeah.
Did we get any information about? I'm just looking through all of the fucking handouts he's given us. Truly, so many. Thanks, Andy. Do we know what's happened with any other people that may have survived that? So, do we know what's happened with the maid specifically, Hasoon?
No.
We don't know
Yeah, we have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. That's probably what we're here for, obviously. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something that was.
I think.
Yeah.
We need to have a bit of a battle plan because once we've made contact with them, if it all goes south real quick, Agent Pink and I looking to sort of take out the machine gun nest as a priority, and you guys sort of do some flanking type of things. What's the deal?
I think if we get into a firefight relatively early on, against 27 hostiles,
run away.
Yeah,
is the option.
Yeah.
Back in the armored vehicle and fuck off.
Yeah. Leave the truck. Everyone pile into the Humvee, and we disappear.
Look, I've worked some miracles in firefights before.
Never rely on the miracle.
That's pushing it.
I think if we can't bluff our way in, we're going to be in trouble anyway.
So, I think that we were discussing Khar's taking the lead, flashing the ID, and we're going to try and Shanghai some of those people to actually load the truck for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Because it also adds to we're more important than you. And from what Andy was saying, with everybody it being a thing of fear, you're afraid of the person on the next run. So
did we get any local intel before we left from the other agents about who are the local sort of Daesh players in internal security? We did glean some names, didn't we? Which you could just drop into a conversation. Have we been sent by?
Yes. 1 second.
You've got there's one name on the bottom of the the list of incidents.
Regional briefing.
No, that's the map of the incidents. Related incidents. So on the bottom of this, you've got one name, which is the head of counterintelligence in Mosul, is a guy called Ahmed Al-Jabiri.
Yes, that's right. And I found out that he had been taken in for questioning, and then he'd been released. And that was the last bit of information we had about him.
No, the person who was taken in released was the head
Was
of
the
the
guy who
religious,
issued the
the head of the religious police.
Oh,
who sent us who sent the original
Yes.
Daesh guys into
Sorry,
fuck everything up.
bear with me a second.
No worries.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting confused.
Yeah,
So,
no, we had to choose the other
Right, yeah.
person. Who's this? What was the name again? Ahmed Al Jabiri. Is that
Yeah.
you? Also, I don't know.
Ahmed Al Jabiri. It's at the bottom of that handout,
Yeah,
the very last
I'm
bit.
gonna write that down. I think Ahmed Al Jabiri. That's the name that we want to be saying. Potentially, I think we should only use it if we need to. Just to sort of. But who? I mean, Agent Khar has the lead on it on the situation. I'm assuming. What's your persuasion? Or
Pretty
convincing,
good.
or deception, or whatever it is.
I'm quite
Was
good at
that?
convincing.
Oh, good, excellent. So the rest of us just need to kind of defer, I think, which is just sort of like, yeah, we're here doing our jobs. If you've got any questions, direct towards the superior.
So I fluff it,
Yeah.
then you can leap in and try and rescue me.
And you've talked about the only question you've talked about getting recruiting some forced labour to load the vehicle for you. Are you doing that straight away? Or are you going to check out the? Actually, we'll come
Check
to
out
that.
first.
We'll come to that. Actually, sorry, we'll come to that as well.
Hmm.
Right. Okay.
What was the name of that person that was released?
It's the
Was...
person. Dowd Al Said. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Got that.
he's not the head of Al Hisbah. He's a more senior member of Al Hisbah. He sent the team that's on the found video, and he was arrested the morning after the morning the incident was discovered, and was released several hours later after being interrogated. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, where are you going to approach from? Are you approaching from the north as if you're coming from Mosul, or from the south as if you're coming up toward heading towards Mosul?
So we're coming from the north towards Mosul, so away from Mosul towards the Rassam house, and then going from the Rassam house, and we're planning to go down to the airport.
Right.
That's so we're gonna go, yeah.
Okay.
So we're there to get the stuff and get it out.
Okay.
So take
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So, you're driving with sat navs. Fairly quickly, you get yourself onto a road, so we don't need any drive checks. Several hours pass, and it's not all that long after dawn when you hit the Route 1 main road, a number of miles north of the Rassam house. Okay.
So, Andy, I have got a question. Sorry, this is stupid. I should really know this. What is the local language spoken in this immediate area?
It is Arabic.
It is Arabic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course it was from that picture. Okay, and who else speaks Arabic?
Me.
All of you.
Okay.
Everyone speaks Arabic.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
being picked for it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Specifically.
Sorry to say.
Who has Arabic at 50 though and passes as a native? Who has Arabic at not 50 at only 4?
Oh, mine's at 60.
No, sorry. Okay, who's got it? Who doesn't have it at 50 or higher?
Oh, gotcha.
Is everyone got? So everyone passes as natives. Okay, that's fine. So you can all pass as you could all pass as basically, from memory, Iraqis or Syrians, whichever you. But
Actually, I only have 40 in Arabic.
okay. So what is your character's ethnic origin?
Lebanese, I believe.
So yeah, so you technically would appear to be some form of foreign fighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Not a Western foreign fighter, but a foreign fighter still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. So you head down on the route 1. Is there anything you want to do before you arrive at this checkpoint? Nope. Okay.
Now we decided that we're going to use guile.
Yep. Okay. So the there's 3 men on the checkpoint. It's a pretty improvised thing with some.
Is this going into the house?
No. This is on. Right. So I don't have the check. Right. Let me shift you to a map of the. So
The checkpoint's over here.
I haven't put these bits on, but the checkpoint is about here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And this bit here's got the 2 machine gun nests in. You can see 3 people guarding a checkpoint here, and you can see they're fairly relaxed. You can see 4 men who are obviously two-man machine gun teams. They're near their weapons. They're not covering you. They seem fairly lax. And they've got a sort of a couple of oil drums set up, but sort of to partly block the road, really just creating something you've got to drive around. They haven't managed. The checkpoint is fairly basic. It's not even enough to really block the road or anything like that. But even if they did, there's quite a lot. It's quite level either side, and you could drive round easily. And I'm assuming the Humvee's in the lead. And as you approach, one of them puts his hand up, signaling you to stop.
Okay. I'll lean out the window, or however one does it on a Humvee when you're in the command seat. I don't know.
You click them open. They're armored glass, so they sort of. I think they actually.
Okay.
I can't remember. You open the window.
Slightly bored expression and say, Mahmoud, internal security. I'll sort of show him briefly my ID. There's been something that kind of cock up here.
He salutes you.
Return the salute, slightly impatiently. There's been some kind of cock up here. We've been asked to come and verify that the police's cock up has no relation to a suspected internal security issues.
He
The appropriate languages to use for that cock up probably isn't. Probably doesn't translate very well.
Yes, but you're speaking in Arabic. He looks at you. You're here to look at the demon house.
What did he call it?
Oh, sorry, you're here to no, nothing, sir, nothing, sir.
Good. I don't want to hear that kind of language. Superstitious claptrap. Yes,
sir.
That house there. That's where to look at.
He points to the south at this turning here and says, "If you take that and follow it around, it will lead you to the house, sir."
Very well. Carry on.
Okay.
Readopt my bored-looking posture as we drive through.
The road actually ends up Sandman, right? The road, actually following the road, looks like it goes through the middle of where they're camped. Okay. So do you want to go that, or do you want to just go cross country and go sort of this way and go more direct, or do you want to go?
I follow the road that he suggested. Didn't he suggest that we come down to this road here?
Yeah.
And then across?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go that way.
So you
Also,
drive.
since we got
You drive through the on the road that they're camped either side of, and that gets a lot of people up, and there's attract a lot of heads attention and stuff. And you come to the compound, and there's you can see a very clear front gate about here. As you've seen on all the photos you've seen on from the drones, and you see one of the two-man patrols has obviously seen you approaching and has stopped by the gate. And there's sort of two armed men. They're holding their arms, their rifles, sort of in a sort of resting ready position, but they're pointing at the ground and stuff like that.
Okay. Same deal. When we get there, I'll climb out, look around the place, look like I don't want to be there, flash my ID at them and say, Maplet, open it.
Just remind me, your persuade is 70, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not bothering with dice rolls. Not with the stuff you set up. The system says not to bother with unnecessary dice. I think this class is unnecessary.
They I was doing a lot of this around Delta Green.
Yeah, they don't say, they just nod, and then there's two gates, and one takes each and opens the gates fully for you, and there's space to drive in, and let's just go to no, actually, have I got that? Yeah, let's
right.
go
before we drive in, I'm going to point at the two guys and say, you two, do whatever he tells you, and point at the nearest agent. One of our.
Okay, who are you who is being pointed at? But bear in mind, Sandman and Farmer are in a different vehicle to you. Pink's driving, so in the back of yours you've got Hawk and Jones.
Not going to be me, is it?
So you point at Jones and say,
"Yeah,
do what
by process of elimination."
Yeah.
Do whatever he says. Right? Okay. How does Jones react to this?
To be honest, why are you in the car? Why are you in the back of a truck?
It's a relatively sensible suggestion as far as I'm concerned, because
I'll
be doing the historical and archaeological kind of like, so having people do what they're told is kind of like, so I'm going to sort of like a bit surprised, but it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it is great.
Okay.
I just imagine that being the thought process, though, as he like turns back to point, do whatever, and then looks back and he's like, "Oh, I didn't think this through." Okay, he's driving, so he's too unimportant. Can't be Hawk. The other two are in the vehicle. Okay, it's got it. All right, Jones.
Him. Short straw.
Okay. So the two men look at Jones obligingly, and
feel free to tell them to clear off.
You bring, I'm assuming, the truck and the Humvee into this parking area here. You are now on this. Yeah, you're now on the house map, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we should find out if there's been any trouble, Agent Khar, recently, or whether it's been all quiet.
Good point. Yeah. Grab the two of them and ask them.
I'm assuming that you're addressing each other by your cover names, even though for ease we'll use agent names.
When I get off, I'll wander over. I'll make idle chat to the two guys, set them a bit at ease in actual fact. Smoke, offer cigarettes.
That's not. I'm
That's not legal.
I think that's no smoking. Smoking is prohibited. Yeah. So you wouldn't. Smoking cigarettes is prohibited. I'm actually now quite confused because there does appear to be something about ISIL troops smoking, and one of the pre-gens actually had cigarettes. So
okay, never mind. I will try and set the ease a little bit then, having been a bit rough to start with. As I I will pretend to set these guys off to do all the hard work while I do nothing. So while they're not doing anything, I'll casually talk to them a bit, ask the questions, and I will ask them if anything interesting has happened since the incident.
Right. First things you notice is that they are, because they've opened the gates at your instruction, they are peering very actively at the house. Give me a human check, please, Khar. While
Okay.
Khar is having this conversation with these guys, what are the other 5 of you doing?
If we've parked, then I'm getting out.
Okay.
If we have,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for everybody else to, because obviously, well, let the men do their tasks first. But as soon as one of the people who's still there is available, I'm gonna ask them to show me the directions to Hassoon's living quarters if they're going in there. If they're not going in there, then I'll just head in there.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's
I'm
what
going to ask one
Hawkwood-
of the brothers. One of the people who are here. Just ask one of the brothers of. So I've heard that there's something wrong with this house.
Right. So you're joining in the conversation with Khar. Okay, I'll come to that.
No,
Who
I
you?
think take the conversations if he's having, because what you can do is I think have those conversations so we gather a bit of intel from different
So
people. Perhaps.
you're trying to split. So there's two guards. You're trying to split one away from the other and have a conversation with him while Khar talks to the first one. Okay. So you are
action if needed.
Yeah. So you two on divide and conquer with those two. Okay. Yeah. We'll come to those conversations in a minute. What are Farmer, Jones, and Pink doing?
I haven't been commanded to leave the Humvee, so I'm sitting dutifully in the driver's seat of the Humvee.
I roll the door and say, "Come on, get on with it."
I'm going to get out, lower the tailgate of the truck, and then start heading straight around to the bunker.
Okay. So you're going to go through these doors here, which are
Yes.
closed. Okay. What's Jones doing, please?
Apart from just suggesting that we should talk to find out what's been going on in the house, he's going to remain silent, see what Khar gets.
So you're going to join Khar's conversation, but stay quiet. Okay.
Well,
Right.
plus I'll be in close proximity to the people that are going to do what I'm going to tell them.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So there's just the two guards there at the moment. So in that case, Sandman and Jones, you can both make me human rolls as well as the one that Khar made.
Any mod?
No mod.
No.
Don't forget to tick your
Bit
skills
over.
that you fail on.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I've already failed that one. I thought
Oh, we should have done those between. Sorry, I forgot to do them for
Oh well.
between
No,
sessions.
Again.
Never mind. End of this one.
Again.
you said we're going to do it every second
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, this is the third.
And there's a third session.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Did Jones make a human check as well? So Jones as well, please. You're
Really?
present. You're present.
You
yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Take
Like
your
I say,
AirPods out
you
your ear.
sure?
Right. Right.
You asked for this, Andy.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
So I'm right. Right.
Telling the truth.
So
That was amazing.
Sandman, the two men as you're splitting them up and so on, the two men having opened the gates are peering at the house. You're unsure what this means. Khar, you're pretty convinced that that they are they've not seen inside the compound. So this is probably the first time they've seen these gates opened and seen inside the compound, and they're just fascinated. Jones, you think they're looking for someone? It looks like they're peering at windows, looking to see if they could spot someone who they have to be actively leering, trying to surreptitiously see the house.
Expecting trouble, so I'll probably get a little bit nervous, maybe even start to cradle the AK.
Okay.
If I see Jones doing that, I'm going to send him off to do something useful, like go and sweep the floor or something.
Yeah, you know that Farmer's gone off round the back towards the pool.
Jones, what's your proper character? Go and help deal with the pool situation. The other two of you, get into the house.
That makes sense.
Right.
We discussed this position already, so let's deal with this. I won't spend any longer out here than I have to.
Right.
Mind you, that house looks nice.
So, Jones, are you going off to join Farmer then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's just quickly do the. So Pink is still in the. Have you got out of the Humvee, Pink?
By this point, I believe I was commanded to by this point, if I recall.
You were, and I told you to go and sweep
Yeah.
the floor or search a house
Yeah.
or something.
So have you gone in the house?
Yes, I have gone in the house.
So Hawk has gone. Hawk and Pink have gone in the house. Okay. Yep. Is that right, B?
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking for kitchen, maid room, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just quickly do. We won't do Chris because Chris has just disappeared. No,
Right,
you're
he's
going
back.
Got his connection.
Right.
That's where
And even everyone's videos are still in the right places as well. I don't have to mess around with that. That's brilliant. Right. So,
Wonderful.
Khar, yeah, talking to your man. What was the line of conversation you wanted to? What do you want to say to him?
Yeah. Any news? I want to get news and rumours. Anything interesting happens around here? Any incidents? Any rumours?
Right.
I want to find out what the view of the common man on the ground is of this whole situation.
So give me for that, just to shortcut it. Do give me a persuade check, please.
Right. Persuade. So my cat disappeared when that happened.
Okay. And Marc, what is Sandman talking to his guy about?
It's really to see what's been happening. Like, is it safe round here? Because the guys back at the road mentioned that there was something wrong with the house.
Okay.
Without using the word devil or possessed or anything else like that.
Can you give me a persuade check as well, please? Right.
I'm going to get off into a rabbit hole about something and don't find anything useful.
It's actually he clams up a bit. He doesn't seem to. He seems possibly intimidated by your seniority.
Yeah, and he figures out exactly what I'm trying to do and doesn't want to get anyone in trouble. So that's fair enough. I will dismiss him and the other guy when he's done as well. Get him to go stand, get on with that patrol.
Okay.
Unless you want me to help us carry stuff.
I think the conversation was to not straight away. I think was the conversation that was discussed between people. Right. Sandman, talking to your guy, he it becomes clear talking to him that they've been here for several days. It's regarded as a light rest duty. They've come out of combat, and this is a rest duty, and it's really weird. They don't know why they're guarding the house. They've been told not to go inside the compound. Sometimes at night, people who are patrolling round hear strange sounds coming from inside the house and feels odd. But that's all you get out of him.
Being cagey.
Yeah. Okay.
But prepare them out again then and shut the gates.
Okay. So you dismiss them and shut the gates. Okay. Right. I'm then going to cut to.
Really boring of me, but should I just stay in the vehicle as much as the leader did in the previous in the intro to shock anyone turning up to see who we are? I think I'll just stay in the vehicle.
Okay, so you're going to right.
If
Okay. Well,
If I'm just
Yeah.
let before pause Khar and Sandman a sec. Let me do some others in case
Yeah.
that changes your view of what you want to do. Right.
That's true, yeah.
So I think I'm going to do. I think I'll do Pink and Hawk next. So you
Okay.
go. How are you going in the house? I'm assuming are you going in via the front door?
Yes, I think so.
If it's not locked, did someone say it was locked?
No, it's
Like it was shut? Or it's just shut.
it's just shut. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, front door, can't see why not.
Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Searching around the house, it doesn't look to have been. It looks remarkably similar to when how it looked in the video. It doesn't look like there's been any. So this is certainly on the ground floor. Because did you say you're going towards the kitchen and the maid's room?
I was gonna head that way, yeah.
Okay.
But whichever entrance, I mean, whichever's closest, really.
So you're sort of going in here and then sort of along here and so on. Pink, are you just going with Hawk?
Yeah, I'm going with Hawk. Buddy system, I think, is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this looks pretty well on as it did in the video, the fan video. The dining room looks as it was. The foyer looks as it was. Going where do you want to go first? The kitchen or the maid's room?
Kitchen first, just to give it, but not to do a deep look at or anything. Just literally sticking my head in to see if anything in there is evidently popping out, like I need to investigate right now. And then I'll go check out the maid's room.
Give me a search, isn't it? Yeah, give me a search. Sorry, apologies.
Alertness?
Give me an alertness check first of all. Apologies, yes. And Pink, you can do the same as well.
Oh,
All right.
blue. Oh, put a tick in that.
All right. Any modifiers?
Nope.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm
Once
pretty
again,
alert.
this looks similar to before, though the this kitchen window appears to have been smashed.
Outwards or inwards?
There doesn't appear to be very much glass this side.
Okay.
We can check the other side in a bit.
Yeah, actually, how high up is the window?
Not sort of normal height to allow someone working in the kitchen to see what's going on in the pool.
Okay, so I'll just check to see. I'll lean out the window, like gingerly step up to the window and lean out to see if there's glass on the other side. Yeah.
There's bits of broken glass below it. It appears to something has punched through it or smashed it from this side.
Okay.
So from
I think
within
this
the kitchen.
room is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawk says. I think this room's going to be quite important. I just want to check out the maid's room first, in case there's anything there.
Roger.
And then we'll come back. and then I want to go check out the maid's room.
Okay. The maid's room is I'm trying to. I think it's fairly neat and tidy. I think she kept her room fairly neat and tidy.
I imagine that would be the case.
I kind of want to do a little search in here because I'm looking for like journals or anything, because she had quite a bit of information she was giving them, and I'm hoping that maybe she'd written anything down or recorded anything.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you take some time to search this. So can I have a search roll from you two, please?
Yep.
Woohoo!
All right. Let's see. No dice.
No.
Okay.
They doubles.
You knock over a lamp at one point, Pink, and smash a lamp.
I just kind of look around and freeze for a second.
Yeah.
It was
Hawk-
the spooky
Hawk's like,
ghosts that did it.
dude, absolutely not.
But Hawk, you are certain from searching here that there is there is nothing like a journal, nothing like that, nothing hidden. The only book in here is a copy of the Quran, which honestly doesn't look that well used.
Well read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to cut away from you two for a moment. I'm going to go to Farmer, and then Jones is joining in fairly briefly. But Farmer, you wander around to the swimming pool. The backhoe has gone and stuff. The truck in the back, all the heavy equipment has all gone. But you knew that from the drone footage you had of the site. And you can see down in the sort of quite a number of boot prints in the sand that's in the pool. Okay. It's not rained very much for the last few days, so it looks like there are definite signs of tracks, but so many it's hard to read them because there's so many over the top of each other. But they're definitely going in and out, and you can see that the false wall is still open, but the door, which is that, do you remember that sort of round door, probably taken from a ship or something like that, with a securing wheel in the center, that is shut.
As soon as I get close to it, the confident walk and that I had just sort of peels away. I look around a bit and
you see Jones joining you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones is going to be nervous. He's sort of handling his AK-47. As he hears the lampshade break in the distance, he'll start and kind of like he's on edge. Which, he will tell anybody is obviously part of a ploy to sort of, be, realistic in everybody else is scared, but actually that fumble has kind of unsettled him.
Okay.
I turn to Jones. Take him going in then.
Well, we could scout the area a bit first.
Yep. You first?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll reach. I'll actually then open the door and let him go first. What I will do though is
you're opening the door. I think Jones was meaning something else besides opening the door.
I meant actually not opening the door and scouting the area first, but as he goes towards the door, I'm not going to let to the fact that that's what I was alluding to.
Okay. So
actually, to be fair, I do actually want to get in there and look at the tablets and everything else.
So
I'm a bit of a history buff, so yeah.
Okay, so you open the door. Okay, it just turns as before.
I'm regretting not bringing a flashbang now.
Please, can you both
I'll
make
crack.
me? Please, can you both make me alertness checks?
No problem. I am going to. Is it dark inside?
Yes, but it's light outside. So the immediate area as you open the door. Do you if you remember from the prequel? But the door opens to a passage that goes ahead and then turns left fairly quickly. So
Any modifiers?
nope. Right. Jones, you don't see anything. Farmer, as you're opening the door.
So I'm standing to one side.
Yep. Yeah. With your AK held nervously.
Yeah.
Farmer, you spot something as you open the ground. Just sort of it's actually mostly inside, but there are a couple outside. You spot some small little obsidian shards, both on the ground, both just outside the door and just inside the door. And actually, there's some cracked and broken shards and a bit of dust from where a couple probably have been in the court when the door has closed and been shut, that appear to have been crushed slightly.
Okay. I'll point them out, and then I'll get the torch out and just.
Right, as you look at them closer, you realise that they've got a sort of black residue on them. Which I think with your background, it's dried blood on them.
Okay.
One thing I probably forgot to bring, Andy, was archaeological paraphernalia. It seems to me would be really useful.
We can backtrack and say yes, you brought that. That's good.
Yeah, it seems to make sense. He bought lots of boxes to carry stuff. I think probably.
Tweezers and baggies or something.
Yeah.
And probably gloves. But yeah, definitely going to take a couple of samples of these things as Farmer points them out, and I will kind of, once they're in some bags, I'll take a closer look at them. Is there any writing on them, or?
No, they appear to be. You drop the first one in a baggie, and it just slices straight through the bottom of the baggie and falls out. They are razor sharp.
I'm going to move my foot out of the way in case it goes straight through my foot. Holy crap. Okay.
But second time placing them carefully in a baggie, they're fine. But they are. I mean, you could use one of these to wet shave with. Obviously, you don't because you've got a big bushy beard because you're posing as a member of Daesh. But they're sharp enough to be used as a razor.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll point that out. Be really careful around these. We don't want to get any blood or cuts or anything.
In fact,
actually, got blood on them.
Yeah, we don't know what getting fresh blood on them might trigger.
Exactly.
You might be able to store one by probably embedding it in a bit of wood or something.
Yep.
Or
a tin or something like that if there's one.
Agent. All right. Agent Farmer, I'm pretty certain you haven't got any archaeology, but if you have, let me know. But
I don't think I have, but I had history. Hang on a second.
No, that's not the appropriate skill. Jones, what is your archaeology skill?
70.
Right, so you don't need to roll. You do not know of any culture that was able to sharpen obsidian this sharp, this consistently. As you look at them, there's probably half a dozen 10 shards. All of them are razor sharp, not just one or two. but they are very, very sharp, all of them, and it's you a lot of cultures could make something very sharp, but this consistently seems unnatural.
So if you're looking at sort of Aztec, Olmec sort of equivalent sort of, glass weaponry, if you like, or obsidian weaponry, there'd be tool markings and effectively napping markings.
Yeah.
Any sign of that?
No.
So would this indicate it'd been machined? Like if I was thinking sensibly rather than supernaturally. Like could modern technology or modern science create something by machining it?
Yes, a machine could make this, yes.
All right.
Let me just spool up my obsidian 3D printer.
Well, no, I was thinking more like sharpening and grinding, but I mean, I wouldn't know why somebody would do it, but...
I love that Agent Jones is desperately holding on to any sanity you might have. Like, no, technology can do this.
I think there's a real danger of assuming that everything is the supernatural. That lies the rabbit hole, right? But, be skeptical, healthily skeptical, but when you are actually faced with incontrovertible truth, then run.
Don't be the slowest.
Yeah, then run. Yeah.
This is Delta Green, not Call of Cthulhu. In Call of Cthulhu, you run away. In Delta Green, you run towards it and solve the problem.
Okay.
Then you run away.
Yeah.
And then you reroll characters.
Well, it depends,
do it again.
it depends.
And you just hope that you have enough clearance to send down enough boom to fix the problem.
Is it sorry, go on.
No, with all honesty, if we're not all dead, then we can probably proceed into the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
so
I've got my torch out. So.
yeah. Okay. So right. With your torch, you also now pick up sprays of blood across the walls. Certainly by as the door has opened inwards, and as it's opened away, the wall opposite it has got a spray of blood on it. Yep. That's now dried and clearly several days old. I mean, someone with medical experience or forensics would need to look at it to age it more precisely. But it is dark and dried. Sorry, what was that?
Bit of a Jackson Pollock
Yeah.
painting.
Okay.
Less than 1,000 years old, so I'm not interested.
Yeah. Then right, and you two are going to start proceeding down the corridor.
Yes.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
The light is going out. Is being swung around, not wildly, but.
Okay, I'll cut away.
I'm trying to poke into any dark corners.
Okay, cut away from you two for the moment. Okay, so just go back to Khar and Sandman. So, Khar, are you going to stay with what you said and stay by the vehicle in case someone comes back?
I think so, yeah. If I hear any noise, if anyone, unless anyone can think of anything more useful I could be doing, I think probably it's a useful part of our cover.
Okay.
I'd rather be exploring something, but.
Okay. I'll come back to you. What's Sandman doing?
Considering they've got 4 in the house.
There's two in
the house, and two gone to the round the back.
Yeah.
I might just, if the guys who are on the gate who we finished talking to, might just have a little patrol round, just have a little nosy, just to get an idea of how many people are actually within this compound currently active. So a bit of an easy scout mission, just to sort of spy what they're up to and what they're doing.
So are you meaning you're going to go around the outside of the wall, or you're going to go?
No, within the house compound.
Well, there's nobody. It's just us.
So bear in mind the wall is about 8 feet high, with glass cemented on top.
Oh yes,
of course. So you can't see over it. If you want to, you could go into the building
Might
and
do that for the
work your way
floor.
around the top floor, looking out of windows. Though actually, if you look at the top floor, there's not that many windows that give
Views.
views in to the two sides. Bear in mind from rightly north is the left-hand side of the map.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So bedroom 4 gives quite a good view,
Balcony.
and the balcony
just thinking
obviously gives a
balcony.
very good view of two sides. But
You've got no visual very easy off the sides of bedroom
No.
3 and 2
No.
and out the side of
Yeah.
that. But so you've got front. I'll just do a rec as best as I can. I
sorry.
think bedroom 4's got options.
So you're
for
going
viewing that
to
way.
go and wander around upstairs. Okay. So you go in
Yeah,
and start.
I'll tell those that are in the house that I'm entering, so they don't get spooked.
Okay. Okay. Let's cut back to Pink and
jumps when he hears the I'm entering the house. Don't get spooked. Get spooked. Knocks over another lamp.
Right.
Okay.
Shall I just creep up behind you?
Okay. So you two have finished searching in the maid's room. Where do you want to go now?
I think at this point, we probably bump into Sandman
Yep,
as he's
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
in.
Yeah, probably.
We're well. I plan. I don't know, Pink, if you want to stay with me or go with Sandman, but I plan to check out the kitchen and maybe if I do the bottom floor, if Sandman and Pink want to go.
I will stick with Hawk.
No worries. I think
Okay.
we should take as many pictures as we can and then pick up anything that seems interesting. Do you have latex gloves? Do either of you have latex gloves?
Yeah, yes, that would be part of my trauma kit, presumably.
Yep, you can put some latex gloves. So Sandman, you're not sticking with these two. You're going upstairs, correct? Sam.
No, I'm going to go upstairs.
Yeah, you're going to go upstairs. Okay, right. Okay, so Hawk and Pink. So you put on latex gloves, and then you doing a very thorough search of the kitchen. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Can I take pictures as well? Because I've got my camera phone as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I think I put slim camera on there, something like that.
Yeah. You got a camera.
Something with a camera.
Yeah, you got a camera. So you're taking photos, okay? And you're taking your time about this. So can I have what are your search skills actually?
Mine is not very high.
My search is 50.
My search is 20.
Right. Both of you can make dice rolls, but at plus 20, please, because you're taking time to search and using a camera and stuff like that.
How?
I mean, I'll take it.
Right. Well, at least you get to tick it, at least, B.
It's already picked.
Okay. Right. So you start. You search around here. The kitchen is pretty unremarkable, apart from two things. One you've already spotted, and is the broken window, and it appears, and that window was not broken at all on any of the found footage, and it appears someone has broken the window from the kitchen out. It is not a large enough hole. There's shards of glass still sticking up and so on. It's not a large enough hole for probably Hawk is the physically smallest of you. I'm not really sure, but I can't remember people's heights and weights and stuff like that. But it's probably not a big enough hole for even a sort of 8-9-year-old child to climb through. Yeah, it's so it's someone has broken the window, but not for egress, not to get out. Okay.
Right.
And then the thing that Agent Pink observes, so you look at this air shaft that there was some definite interest in, and the thing that Pink points out to Hawk, so Hawk can photograph, is that there are a lot of what really appear as scratches in it's concrete. The air vent's in concrete. The air vent itself, I think from memory, was I think it was a metal grill over sort of a the wall is made of breeze blocks and concrete and stuff like that, and though tiled nicely over, there's lots of scratches in the brick, the concrete, even on the metalwork, where something appears to have scratched it. Lots and lots of small ones.
Can we hear Farmer and Jones through the vent?
Let's find out. Pause. We'll pause you two there.
Can you hear the screaming?
Sounds as 30 rounds from an AK-47 being unleashed in terrible fury.
Right.
Farmer, they're dead.
Farmer and Jones.
Not the face.
You progress down this corridor, and it turns left. And as you go left, there's more signs of dried blood on the walls, the floor, the ceiling, everywhere. Blood has spurted in lots of different directions. Please, can you both make me sand checks?
Yep. Fully expecting that.
Sorry, are either of you adapted to violence?
Yeah, I was Navy before I went into O&I.
So you've got no adapted to. Have you got the adapted to violence under Sam?
Oh.
Yeah, I have the adapted to violence.
I know. I knew someone had, but
yeah.
Right. Okay. So Agent Jones is successful.
I'm on the edge though.
You don't lose any sanity.
Through?
Not yet. What did you roll?
There you go.
6. So but neither of you lose any sanity. Oh,
there you go.
55 starting sand. Oh, brave man.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Right. Okay. It's unnerving seeing this man of dry blood, but you were sort of partly mentally prepared for it from what you'd seen on the video, so it doesn't unnerve you any further. And you make us into the central chamber that this passage leads to, as the video showed. Where is it? It's an octagonal room, 10 meters across, and it still looks mostly like it did in the video. There are still footlockers scattered around with clearly clay tablets in them. There are journals on shelves. There's a workbook bench with lamps and stuff like that. There's various paraphernalia lying around on the floor, but there's bits of sort of blooded clothing and stuff like that appears to have been shredded. But it does appear that any bodies have been removed, any weaponry has been removed, and pretty well nothing else has been.
And of course, there's a really big amphora.
Sorry, there's a really big amphora in the middle that is still leaning to one side in the cage. Yeah, it's still leaning to one side in the cage. Yes.
Does the light switch work, Andy?
Yes, it does.
Tink.
Look at that.
That will either reassure Agent Farmer or terrify him as the light suddenly.
Can I reach into my pocket and actually bring out the stopper and put it on top of the amphora? I know it's the whole closing the gate behind the bolted horse, but still, first thing I'm going to do.
Yep, certainly. Okay. You do that. Yep, certainly.
Is there a
and then-
journal there?
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff.
There's in the video, it showed the journal was picked up by one of the ISIL guys, the Daesh guys, and put in a satchel. And looking round, you spot the satchel lying on the floor. It's the straps have been a bit slashed by something sharp, but the bag itself is still there.
Quick question: the stairs that were coming down, I can't remember. Were they like straight stairs or were they like a spiral?
There's no stairs in here.
Oh, it's just sloped.
That, isn't it?
Just
No, it's sunk at the bottom of the pools and then just goes horizontal, I think.
Yeah.
So the entrance
Yeah.
is right at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had this thought that it was some stairs going down.
No,
but okay.
no stairs,
Nope.
no stairs at all.
Cool. So we won't have any sort of issue taking things out then.
Nope.
Well, we've got to get it up the lip of the pool, but we can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You have a Humvee. A Humvee actually has a towing cable on it,
Yeah.
but that would probably cause quite a bit of damage.
Plus, the pool's filled with sand, so we can just literally walk up the sand or drag it over the sand. So we're okay with that.
Make a slope.
Yeah, exactly. In that case, once I've done the quick look around, I'm going to look over to Jones and go, "This is now your game, mate.
Yeah.
What are we taking first?"
Let's get all the light stuff. That's a bit easy and quick in case we have to make a quick getaway. But I suppose the amphora is the key thing. If we don't get that out, the rest of it's kind of a.
So
Why
just
don't we give a shout out to everybody else and get everybody here and start figuring out how we're going to get the amphora out? I'm going to look at the soft stuff, the journals, and the bits and pieces, and start seeing if there's anything in there.
okay, couple of things. Firstly, I didn't realise you'd taken the stopper with you. Had you brought it in the case that's with the
No.
briefcase with? So you've taken it away from the thermite charge.
Yeah, because there's no way I was taking this case on the thing.
Okay, yep. So I just want to check if you had some thermite with you or not. Okay.
Okay, no, I've got the deck cord in the cab. Remember?
Yeah. Right. So sorry. So Jones, are you starting to look at things? And if so, what are you starting to look at?
Well, we're going to give everybody else a shout.
Okay.
On a mobile phone or whatever we've brought as communications, assuming it will work down here, just to say, we're in.
You have to go back towards the entrance to get a signal, but yes. Okay. Okay. So
Or just if we're going to go outside, then just a shout. But yeah, probably if we've got people at the front, we'll give them a shout on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Question.
Probably Agent Khar, and just let people know what's going on. Sorry.
That's. I know I mentioned, can we hear the noise of people down there? Like if we hear that, like maybe not what they're actually saying, but like there's people.
you can hear you can hear the murmur of voices. Definitely hear the murmur
of voices. Okay.
Murmur of male voices. Whether it's your companions, who knows? But you can hear the murmur of male voices. Right. Okay, I'm just going to cut to Sandman and Khar a sec. So, Sandman, and actually Sandman and Khar, can you both give me alertness checks, please?
Got any mods?
Nope.
What?
You can tick alertness at least.
Oh well, yeah. Light and shade.
I love the way this so it comes up with alertness and tells me it's a failure, but doesn't actually give me the number for about another second.
Right.
Right. Okay. So,
It just says alertness failure, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
I know.
say any numbers.
Right,
It's
okay.
just-
so leave that right. So both of you. So you, Khar, you hang around by the gate. Don't observe anything.
I'm in the vehicle.
Oh, you're in the
I'm
vehicles.
sorry,
Yeah. Sandman, you're looking out from the balcony and various other bits, trying to get a look around. You hear this occasional bit of sort of scuffed movement of men patrolling around the outside of the compound wall, but that's it. Okay.
Where are they staying?
Back. Right. So back in the camp. So let me just. You drove through the middle of the bulk of them. So
Okay.
where are we? Property map. Property map with sorry, this one.
Yep.
So on here, where it says camp, that is that's where the bulk of them are camped. They're camped in amongst orchards either side of that sort of track going through the middle.
They
And
got
you drove
tents and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And there's 27 of them total. There's 4 patrolling. There are 3 on the checkpoint, 4 on the machine gun, so that's 11. So that means there's 16 people, and there look to be at least a dozen.
What vehicles and comms do they appear to have?
They don't appear to have any vehicles, and you didn't see any comms.
No, they haven't got a radio tower or anything else set up.
No.
Okay.
And they've got tents, a couple of cook fires going.
But these are basically Daesh fighters just been routed to here, aren't they? On a bit of guard duty.
The only thing to add, I'll close that. I don't want to close that. Have you got anyone who's got military science land?
Me.
What have you got military science land as? Pink, you might have it as well. I'm not sure.
60. Do you want the stat? 60.
You got 60.
50.
What have you, Pink? Have you got it as well? Actually, between you,
Let's see. Sorry, what am I checking to see if I have it?
Military science land.
I have. That's going to be under my special training, right?
No. It's
okay.
It's under it's about middle.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've got 40 in it.
Okay.
Yep, sorry.
So the 3 of you, it occurs to all 3 of you. They are not sending any patrols out into the local area. There's 27 men. There always seems to, since you landed, there's been 27 men. That number has not varied. They look to be pretty relaxed and lax. They're not sending any patrols out into the local area or anything that you would expect like that.
Okay.
So why are they here? What are they doing?
Just guarding, aren't they?
Seems like a waste of 27 people.
Well, it was said that they'd been in combat and they'd been sent here to rest.
Yeah. I can kind of see it from that perspective where, this is like you're on duty, but you're not actually doing anything. Like they want you to you're technically combat ready. They want you to like still have your guns and stuff nearby and not stray too far off post, but they also are like they want you to do R&R basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So
eat apricots and almonds off the tree.
So Jones contacts everyone to let them know that there is stuff in the vault to look at, in the bombshell to look at.
On our group, on our WhatsApp group.
Yep. As we know, that's.
Can I send a message back?
The most secure form of communication on the planet.
Yeah. What message should we send? Yeah.
Can I send back sea vent and look for light? And I'm gonna sort of just flash my torch just to see if there's a straight line or whether it's like a twisty turny. I want to see if there's a possibility of a person being able to get up and out of this vent, or whether it's what we think it is, which is the obsidian shards.
Right. So what? Jones actually only Jones at the moment because Farmer's not getting any updates on his WhatsApp because he's underground. But Jones, what do you get that message? What are you doing?
The temptation to turn the lights out and then shout at Farmer to say, "Can you see a light?" is suppressed heavily.
I'm going to look for. I'm also going to look for a vent.
No,
There's,
I'll reply. Look, there's no signal back in the in the underground shelter. I'll go and I'll go and look for light or some sort of vent.
Okay.
That's relevant.
And so you turning the lights off though?
No, God no. Could be
Okay.
crazy.
Right. So give me an. I'm not sure if it's search or alertness. You're looking for it. A search check at -20, both Farmer and Jones.
boy.
-20.
-20.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Jones, yep, you're able to spot a vent in the ceiling that has light coming down it. It's rather lost within the rest of the light in the room, hence the -20. But you do manage to pick out a little bit of a bright spot that isn't the lights.
I'll shout. I'll shout out. Yeah, we can see a light through a vent in the ceiling.
Hawk and Pink, you hear that?
yeah.
Okay, I think we've confirmed it's them.
I just want to tick off. Vent leads to room.
Yep.
Yeah, on your little supernatural home inspector's
Yeah.
notepad that you have.
Right, and
Yeah.
then is everyone else heading down into the chamber?
I mean,
Yep.
I don't see any
After.
reason not to.
Yeah, I think so. We can just scope it out.
Hawk has to fill out the rest of her 1077 BGI form.
She is taking notes of everything. Like her note, she has a notepad, and it's like,
Or do you have a dictaphone?
please let me have a dictaphone.
You can have a
Please let me have a
dictaphone.
dictaphone. Wonderful.
Oh,
I'm
that's
putting it on my
great.
list.
Okay. And yeah, I realize that, Mark. Yeah. So, is Khar going down as well? Chris, or are you frozen?
Right, no, I'm here.
Sorry, is Khar going? Is everyone going down? Sorry, I wasn't sure if Khar was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I am. No, I think probably my role as the guard at the gate is probably quite important.
Okay, so you're staying up, but Pink, Sandman, and Hawk are all going down into the chamber. Yeah.
I've definitely got the group
Yeah.
chatter, in my earpiece.
Yep.
Mhm.
If anyone comes through that gate, I want to be able to fend them off.
Okay, so Sandman, are you going down as well? Okay, right. I think we're just about on time, so that's a good point to leave it. But just before we do, Hawk, Sandman, and Pink, please make me sand checks for seeing blood. Sorry, no. Hawk, Pink, you don't need to because you're adapted to violence.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Yep. We
How
established.
come
that,
my
yeah.
profession is not adapted to violence?
You get
Well,
adapted.
it's not a
Voice
it's not a
making character
profession
writing.
thing.
Oh,
It's
it's
because
a-
I've worked for Delta Green before. Yeah.
Okay. You're twisted and wrong.
Yeah, I'm twisted and wrong. I probably chuckle a little bit at the spray pattern or something.
Well,
dark.
That's not a spray.
next time,
pattern.
if
This
you
is
want
a
to look
spray
if you want to look at the spray patterns, then that's a thing for some checks next time. But
Feels
yeah.
like a Rorschach ink block test
so-
is coming up.
Hawk is fine, and Sandman. Just
Yeah,
give me
no
sand
mods.
No mods. No, you don't mod sand checks.
Hmm.
I don't
Drop
believe.
down.
Is there?
Got
Okay,
a drop.
I
Yeah.
will double check that. So you're
taking photos for the lads back.
right. I need to look
back
that
at
up
home.
because I need to check on because there's boxes to tick off about becoming adapted to stuff. I need to work out.
Yeah.
I need to go back and check if how that
Yeah.
getting
yeah.
a critical success if that's good or not.
Doesn't
Anyway,
make any difference, Andy.
it doesn't make any difference. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Okay.
It means you take the minimum possible loss from that particular source.
Okay. Right. Okay. So that's no sound loss for anyone yet so far. Okay. Right. So let's leave it there. Thank you to anyone watching this. There'll be another session hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you to my players. That was a great session. Lots of very.
yeah.
This is supposed to be a scary game. It's far too funny at points. But I need to get you. I need to get you shitting yourselves more. But anyway, right. But
Yeah.
we'll leave it there. But thanks for anyone watching, and there'll be another episode in a couple of weeks' time. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
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 Right.